Is there anybody here that wants to talk to me today? I love your cemetery. If you want to talk to me, you can talk into this camera. And you can even show yourself in front of this camera. The shadow. Thank you for letting me come in your cemetery. Thank you.
So you have to have a tour guide to go in?
That's the only grand chief actually sold out of 6.
Marie Laveau. She was a freewoman colony here, born into a modest family. She learned the art of wizardry.
Is there anybody here? Do you want to tell me your name?
Voodoo from her grandmother and her mother. The idea of a voodoo queen might conjure to your mind this idea that she lived in grandeur, right? She had a nice little cottage on St. Anne Street. That was it. She lived with her common law husband, Christopher Glapion, until the day that they died. Sundays, she would go to mass, stop at home, eat a quick lunch, go over to Congo Square, and perform voodoo rituals until the end of the evening. Congo Square, which is part of Armstrong Park today, it's this little piece right on the corner. And from 1724 moving forward, it was the only place in our city where slaves were legally allowed to congregate. And because we are a very Catholic city, they would do so on Sundays because it's a day of rest. Inside Congo Square, along with Marie Laveau doing voodoo, you would also see people offering merchandise like extra produce from their own garden, or offering their services to earn a little extra money. Because the one thing that slaves had in our city that slaves in the rest of the South didn't have was the right to purchase their own freedom. Now in terms of this tomb, the top tomb has the family Paris in it. The middle one here has the family Glapion. None of those say Laveau, until you get to this tiny plaque here that recognizes the fact that Marie Laveau was buried here. Initially, if you wanted to come ask for a favor from Marie Laveau after she died, you just come over here and you click one X. It is said that that X represents the final X missing from her last name. Down here it says Laveau. There is no X, although there was one when she was born. So they say that by putting an X on the tomb, you're completing her last name and you were gaining favor from her. However, tour guides, we arrived, and 1 turned into 3. So now, this is a very silly ritual. If you want to ask a favor from Marie, you're going to come over here, you're going to paint your 3 X's. You then turn around 3 times. And when you, I don't know if that was 3 or 2, I stopped counting, but when you stop being dizzy, you're going to call out your wish. So, I wish I was a millionaire. And then you're going to knock 3 times and walk away. Later on, when you get your $1 million, whether it's through your very hard work or happenstance, you're going to come back here, you're going to find your X's, you're going to circle them. And then you're going to leave an offering. You'll notice, as you guys look at the tomb, that none of these are circled. I'm not saying that voodoo doesn't work. I am saying that Marie Laveau's family moved her tomb to another tomb in the back because of this vandalism. We're going to see it, and you guys are going to see it didn't do anything. That tomb is worse than this one. But because this one has the legend of Marie Laveau connected to it, it will always look like this. This poor guy is a great example. This little guy here used to be a bog ground. But you guys all know that we're built out of swamp, right? And you guys know that swampland is kind of soft. And as we pumped out space from our swamp to make room so we could build new neighborhoods,
Are you here, Marie?
Our ground sinked, right? Because we took out the water from above, but then we also took out the water from below. And the entire city of New Orleans is sinking at about 2 inches per year, which doesn't sound too bad, right? That gives us plenty of time. Until you remember that global sea levels are also rising. So recent studies have put us our beginning of sinking beneath the waves of the Gulf of Mexico, somewhere around 2100.
Can you say your name?
We're going to go see Marie Laveau's tomb before we stop at our next stop. While you guys are walking down there, Paul Morphy, this gentleman over here, first man buried there in 1884. He was a chess prodigy in the 19th century, and he was really good at it. At one point, he played 8 opponents simultaneously while looking away from the board. His his opponents would have to call out their move, and he would respond in kind. He beat all 8 of them. And then he decided to get a law degree and be a lawyer. He should have kept being a chess player because he lost every single game.
Is there anybody here who wants to talk to me? Your cemetery is beautiful. How did you die? Who are you down here? That's a cool looking tomb.
Nicholas Cage, American actor. This is his tomb. He is not dead. You cannot say the same for his career.
Why do you have
I get to
access?
say it. My mom's a Nicholas Cage fan. That's the reason I just be buried near Marie Laveau. That's all he has to do, right? You have to die and be buried near Marie Laveau. Doesn't it make more sense to spend your $1 million on things that you're going to enjoy while you're alive? Because at the end of the day, whether you're in the Sunday pyramid or you're one of these beautiful families, at the end of the archdiocese wanted to pull those walls out, they would have to dig out about this far from each side of it, and then lift the whole wall at once, because otherwise they risk damaging any of the tombs that are contained inside of it. So we're going to be here for just a second. If you guys want to get out of the sun, there's a whole bunch of shade here. These are called society tombs. Now, society tomb is run by, wait for it, a society. And depending on which tomb it is, it's going to be a different society. So this guy over here, this is our Portuguese society tomb. And this guy over here is the Italian Benevolent Society. Excuse me. So you're welcome to join these societies. Even today, you can approach them, say, I want membership. You're going to have to pay monthly dues on that membership. And then when you die, they're going to pay a portion of your funeral. And then you have access to one of these lovely little vaults here. But your family is going to have to pay for the rest of that funeral, and after a year and a day, you're going to have to do something with the remains, because this is a nice little mixture of a family tomb in that multiple people are buried in there at once, but a wall vault in that these are temporary.
Can you tell me your name?
Mr. Plessy, and asked him to join in on their campaign.
Where am I?
To work against the segregation laws here in New Orleans.
Is this New Orleans?
One thing you guys should know about him, it's very important to this story. Thing number one is that he is an auctioneer, which means that he has...
Do you like being buried here?
Thing number two is that he was also cross-eyed blanc, which means he could...
Can you step in front of my
So they
camera?
approached him and they said, we have this great little plan. Are you in?
I'd love to see you.
And in the 1890s, he sat on a white holy street. It was very Rosa Parks, right? One of the laws that we had here in our city was that if you were not white, you had to give the conductor your race. So he tells the conductor, I'm an octoroon, and the conductor says you have to move to the colored car. To which Rosa Parks takes effect, and he says no, he is arrested. His case goes in front of Judge Ferguson, who already inherited
Who's buried in here?
$62 million in today's currency.
I can't read it. Can you tell me your name?
162, if you have to end it with millions
Talking to my camera. I may not hear you now, but I'll hear you later.
and his uncles realized that, so they sent him over to England to become a gentleman. But if you know anything about 19th century gentlemen, you know that they are not. As soon as he got into court, he spent his money on 3 things that I'm never going to be good at. But go ahead, ask me if I'm upset that I'm never going to be good at drinking, gambling, and women. No. I'm over to England to become a gentleman. I'm over to England to become a gentleman. I'm over to England to become a gentleman. They were performing various experiments on sugarcane to see how else they could process it. And he noticed little granules. It's granulate!
It's all over the
That's all
cemetery.
sort of granulate. But the warehouse gated right at the 50-yard line.
Comment te faire cul.
That's gated as well. He is buried right here. And Etienne de Boré, along with being the first
Je m'appelle Shannon.
was also the first mayor of New Orleans post becoming American.
Are you here, Marie?
Now, if you guys
You can talk into this camera. Can you talk into my camera, Marie? Thank you for being such a good person. Thank you for taking care of all those children and healing the sick. I wish you peace. You can follow me if you want. Can you say your name? Comment te faire-tu? Merci, Marie Laveau.
And a handful of Mardi Gras Indian chiefs. Have you guys seen the Mardi Gras Indians yet? You'll know them because all their costumes are massive and they are inspired based off of the chief or the tribal chief costumes that natives would wear. This is a not so much cultural appropriation as it is a term of respect. Native Americans and blacks here in our city had a very similar story when it came to the treatment by the French, the Spanish, and general Europeans. They were both enslaved, they were both mistreated, and it took them both a very long time to get a handle here in our city.
Can I see you, Marie?
City, they would end up in native tribes.
Will you walk in front of my camera for me?
And so Mardi Gras Indians are based on the same structure as a tribe, and it is not
Can you
uncommon
talk
to
into
see
my
multiple
camera?
tribes coming together to do battle. This battle is not spears and bows
Merci.
and arrows. This is actually more a battle of the bands between 2 brass bands, as well as to see who can create the most beautiful costume. They create a new costume every time here in St. Louis No.1 is coming to an end. And luckily for us, there's no major person to talk about. So we get to saunter down towards the front of the cemetery. I do ask that we saunter at a reasonable pace though, because there is a tour group right behind us who are gonna need the Barberin family tomb soon. So let's head on down this direction. As you guys have been walking around, you probably noticed that there are 2 main types of gates around these tombs.
Parlez-vous anglais? If you want to stop in front of my camera, you can too. I'd love to see your shadow. Did you know Marie Laveau? Is Marie Laveau behind me? I hear footsteps behind me. I swear I did. Is that you, Marie? Can you say your name so we know if that's you following me? Or who is following me? Did you have yellow fever?
Necessarily had the medical instruments to tell the people were living. So you would be buried even if you were just unconscious. So sometimes when they would open these tombs later on down the road, they would...
Well, I wish you all peace. Merci to all of you. Thank you. Au revoir.